All right, so it's a coffee vlog, Mr4Koffee vlog number 2. Yeah, there it is, right here. Cheers. All right, so let's talk about this. Yesterday, Friday the 13th. What a day. What a day, Friday the 13th, yesterday. Trying to get the Borderlands 3 to work on my PC. My Radeon 5700 XT graphics card, and what a nightmare. Now, I did lash out against AMD, but you have to understand, I was upset, man. I was like, I can't figure this out. Why all of a sudden the graphics card is shutting down? The computer is shutting down. What could possibly cause this problem? And by the time you get to the real problem, you have to go through every and each individual steps. First, you look at the drivers. Maybe it's the driver, right? Then you do some tests on that. Then after the driver, you try to see other things. Maybe it's the... what else did I test? I tried to test to see if maybe DirectX 12 was causing this, and it's sucking too much power from the GPU. So I tried to select it to DirectX 11. I did that. That didn't work either. I tried many different things, many different options, right? And then, I was getting frustrated more and more and more. Believe me, I tried every single option. I tried updating my BIOS, which I needed to update my BIOS. I updated it. It was updated. I update the firmware updates on every device that I have. So it took a lot of time to get to the real problem. And finally, I went on Google. I went on internet. I went on Reddit, and I see a lot of posts on forums, on Reddit and other outlets where people are saying that they're having a problem with a Waterman. I was like, what's the Waterman? What the hell is this Mr. Waterman? Who the hell is this? I didn't even know this option was there. And they were talking about the fact that you can regulate your power usage on your AMD Radeon GPU. Supposedly, the 5700 XT 50th anniversary edition sucks so much power out of your power supply, and the card gets overheated quickly. And when the card gets overheated quickly, it has to shut down itself. The computer shuts down itself, so they can prevent the possible burn-in, where your card can go up in the smokes, or even worse. So these are like preventions that they have. Every power supply has that prevention that prevents the graphics card from overheating. Every power supply, power adapter has to go through that inspection. So basically what I did, I have to select on my computer, on the keyboard, ALT plus R, alternate LT plus R, ALT key and plus R. And when you press the ALT plus R keys at the same time, this Radeon wattage display opens up, and from there you can regulate how much of power would you like the card to use. You can regulate overclocking, how much, what type of speed do you want the card to use, what type of memory usage would you like to use, how much percentage would you like to use, stuff like that. So you can regulate all that. So it's kind of cool. But I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that till like very late in the night, and then finally I got it fixed. Now I got it down to the T. I got everything adjusted accordingly. I got it balanced. Basically, I calibrated my card in the power supply and the usage, if you will. So why is so much light coming here? There we go. So, it's one of those things where you have to learn. It's a trial and error. it's like anything else. You have to make some mistakes before you actually get to the real problem, the bottom of the problem. It's like when you go see a doctor. Doctor goes through so many tests because he doesn't know yet for sure what's causing this. So he has to go through all these multiple tests till he finally gets to the bottom of what's really causing it. And sometimes that can take weeks, sometimes even months, till they finally get to this is the issue, this is the problem. Okay, so just like anything else, you have to analyze it, you have to diagnose it to figure out what's going on. But let's be honest, and this is coming from a guy who has, I'm building my third PC. I'm going to call it Mr4K Cube. It's all glass and I got some pretty cool stuff in there, which I'll give you the details on it when it's ready. Okay, right now it's being put through tests. All you need to know that I have the most badass Asus Republic of Gamer motherboard. Like, this motherboard supports SLI, 4 SLIs, and you can put up to 64 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, and it even has the option to put the X10, this newest memory RAM, in the future. So the motherboard, it's like a kick-ass motherboard. And what I'm really concerned about when the way I'm building this PC is I want to have all glass in, and I want to have a little bit of opening, so that way the PC stays cool. I want to have a fridge of a PC because the heat is the worst killer of your PC. The heat, it's what kills your PC. Okay, so the most important thing is the cooling. You got to make sure your PC is cooled properly. I don't like what the Alienware is doing, what the Dell is doing. They're cramping up too much stuff into a one box, and they're making that box too claustrophobic. So there's really no space for your components to breathe. They don't get any air because they're constantly so cramped up all together. That's the one negative about the Alienware that I don't like. They cramp everything. They care more about design than they do about the cooling. And the cooling inside these Alienwares, it's really not that good because you constantly got so much shit cramped up all together, which makes it impossible for the PC to have this cool air to be there, unless you're using some thermal liquid cooling, but also liquid cooling, I heard it's not that reliable as well. Air cooling is your best option, but with the air cooling, you gotta have a really good rig, and that's why I'm going with all glass in. You'll see it. It's a pretty interesting build. So I'm gonna show it to you guys when it's ready. I don't want to talk about it now, okay? Because I'm still checking, testing, doing some stuff. What else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3. Look, image sharpening definitely helps with this game. Especially when you are watching it in native 4K with HDR. When you add native 4K, remember we're talking about a native 4K, not checkerboard, not dynamic. When you add native 4K with HDR and medium textures, and then on top of that you add this fidelity image sharpening, everything looks more three-dimensional. Especially when you can connect it to a OLED, you truly appreciate every detail. Yeah, it's one of those games that it's using a different type of an art form, but still it looks sharp, it looks beautiful, and like I said, the image sharpening definitely helps. And I would love to see Coalition games. I would love to see Gears utilize the image sharpening. I think image sharpening is definitely going to help the Gears, but I think also with Gears you'll have to turn down the settings a little bit, because image sharpening can be a throttle to your performance. So that's kind of like the same issue with real-time ray tracing. When you turn on the real-time ray tracing, you got to remember, you got to tone down your graphics settings. You have to move it down to medium. Unless you're running 2080 Ti, Super, or whatever, like SLI 2080 Ti or something ridiculous. But if you're going to use image sharpening, or if you're going to use on NVIDIA real-time ray tracing, you should definitely tone down your graphics settings to medium. Because if you have your settings to high, well, it's going to be a throttle in performance. But overall, Borderlands, I like it. You know, listen, Borderlands, it's continuation of the previous Borderlands. It's the same as the Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2. If you love Loot Crate, you know, hunting the loot crates and collecting, and if you like that, if you like Borderlands in general, you're gonna enjoy Borderlands 3. You know, it's a fun game, but I wouldn't say it's the game that it's a game of the year or something. I wouldn't call it that. I honestly believe that Death Stranding will be the game of the year, in my opinion. I know it's coming late in the year, this year, but I think it will be game of the year. Also, it's possible we might see Gears 5 be a nominee for a game of the year as well, but we'll see. So, I don't know if there's anything else I can say. I think that I haven't already said. Today, there might be a live stream. There might be a live stream today. I don't know what time I'm going to do it, but there definitely is going to be a live stream today. So, well, there you have it. I'm saying Gears. There you go. It's the Coffee Mr4Koffee, number 2. There we go. Okay. People have been asking me about this mustache. This is the Wyatt Earp mustache. You know, you guys ever seen the Tombstone? You ever seen the Tombstone, boy? That's what this is about. Arizona Tombstone. All right, a real cowboy. I think I fit a good cowboy. I just need to get rid of this hat, put on a real cowboy hat, and then act like, John Marston, come on now, giddy up over here. What are you doing there? Come on now. I don't know, I think I could. I think you can do anything you focus yourself into to do it, you know. If you're nervous, that's normal. But I think any actor out there who tells you that they're not nervous, they're lying. Nervousness is good because it helps you focus. Fear, it's good because it helps you focus. That's what gives you a better performance, because it focuses you to be better at something. Okay? Well, anywho, one more thing before I end this video. People have been asking me about the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, and what do I think about the Joker. I'm like, look, I want to see the movie first. I don't want to give my opinions and thoughts on it until I see the movie. I want to see the movie. I think it's going to be interesting part of the Joker life, you know, that we haven't seen before, how he became to what he is and to what he become, you know, this loose cannon that he is in the DC world. But again, I got to see the movie. I don't want to say much, and I don't want to give my predictions. I don't want to give my opinions and thoughts until I see the movie. So when the movie comes out, I'm going to see it. And when I see the movie, I'll give you guys my opinions and what I think about it. And look, Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. He's done a bunch of great movies. You know, Gladiator. He played Caesar perfectly in a Gladiator. I was surprised that he didn't get an Oscar for that. You know, so we know he's a capable actor, that he can pull out certain roles, just like Heath Ledger could pull out certain roles. But I think it's important that people stop comparing Jokers to Heath Ledger. Christopher Nolan created his vision of what the Batman should be if it was in the real life, if it was in the real world. Okay, that was the idea behind Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. What if this was really possible? What if there was somebody like Bruce Wayne, and what if these characters did exist? What if? What if in the real world, if they did exist? So that was the Christopher Nolan universe of the Batman. So people need to stop comparing the Heath Ledger Joker to every other Joker now that comes out. Heath Ledger's performance is unique, it's spectacular, and it's going to be one of those performances that are going to be out there forever. Okay? And I don't think Joaquin Phoenix did this movie trying to compete with Heath Ledger Joker. I think he did his own version of it, and I think that's what this is about. Jack Nicholson did his version. Tim Burton has his own vision, and Jack Nicholson did his version. Christopher Nolan had his vision, and Heath Ledger did his version. Heath Ledger wasn't trying to pick up Jack Nicholson bits and pieces. He did his own version. And here, Joaquin Phoenix, I believe, it's doing his own thing. But this is, like prelude to what the Joker is. It's like becoming of Joker, like a birth of Joker. It's what it is. They should have called this movie just the birth of Joker, or Joker evolving, or something like that. But I think people need to stop comparing Heath Ledger's Joker to every other Joker. Okay, because if that's what you're doing, then you're going into this movie, Joaquin Phoenix movie, you're going into it for the wrong reasons. Okay, so that's my take on it. But anyway, I'm gonna wait till the movie comes out, and then when the movie comes out, I'm going to give you my thoughts about it and how I feel. Well, that's it, Mr.4Koffee, vlog number 2. Cheers. All right, Colonel, let's turn this off. Come on, let's do it. Here we go.